Bye, Jujubee. Bye, Leggy Pants. Bye, Kimber. Bye, Coral. Bye, Leia girl. I love you. See you in a couple weeks, honeys. Bye, Yelly Yelly boy. Hey everybody, we just boarded our flight. We'll see you all in about 15 hours. Hello everybody, a little update for you. We've been flying for about 10 hours. Got about 5 hours left. I just get like exhausted because I haven't been able to sleep, so that's cool, but it's all good. And on that note, we just landed in Bangkok. Hello, and welcome to our travel documentary. My name is Connor, and this is the story of 14 unforgettable days I spent with my partner, Alexa, in the country of Thailand. The sights, the sounds, the moments we'll never forget, immortalized in a journey retold through the cameras we carried with us along the way. After getting off the grueling 17-hour flight to Bangkok, we decided to avoid traffic by taking a SkyTrain to our first hotel, the Vice, with an edgy 3 in place of the E. It wasn't the fanciest hotel we stayed at, but was far from the worst. We loved the location, as being within walking distance of the SkyTrain saved us money on cab rides and made traversing the bustling city a much easier prospect. In addition to the SkyTrain, we found ourselves surrounded by street vendors, 7-Elevens, busy city street traffic, and more. Speaking of 7-Elevens, there's a famous rite of passage for first-time travelers of the country, and we weren't going to risk skipping it. After we dropped off our packs, we went and purchased our first of several Toasties, a cheap and convenient comfort food that can be found at any of the 13,000 7-Elevens in the country. It's not pad thai, khao soi, or any of the other world-class meals we devour later on, but in that moment, it felt like an official welcome. With that first bite into crispy, cheesy goodness, we knew the adventure had just begun.
$44 a gallon.
While never missing an opportunity to goof off, we stretched our legs with a walk down to a local clothing mall, looking for some lighter clothes to stave off the Thailand heat. Then, we took the SkyTrain to the Siam Mega Mall, where we were baffled by the sheer size and scale of the building. I mean, look at this thing. We picked up eSIMs for our phones, converted our currency to the local Thai baht, and we people watched to our heart's content, but we definitely worked up an appetite. Luckily, Siam is known for having a world-class food court. It felt like walking into a different world, a true fusion of cultures. Surrounded by an endless row of food stalls, bright lights, and the sizzling sound of woks working their magic, the food hall at Siam was nothing short of surreal. And though there were countless options for us, we landed on a pad thai from Chiang Mai. Spoiler, it was immaculate. Next stop was the first of many night markets we indulged in. We went there looking for a good deal and, well, that didn't quite happen. The street vendors were ready for us. Armed with incredible sales tactics and just enough English to confuse us, well, let's just say we overspent on a few items. Despite this, it was still plenty of fun to see fake Rolexes, silly t-shirt graphics, knockoff handbags, and so much more. And though we were invited to visit a ping pong tournament, coerced with cheap beer and pretty ladies, we're pretty sure it was just code for a red light establishment. Guess we'll never know. After a busy day of settling into our trip and a night filled with plenty of new experiences, we went to bed enthusiastic of the days to come. Day 2 greeted us with the full force of Bangkok's sacred grandeur. Time didn't feel linear here. It felt layered, as if each detail of what we saw echoed centuries of craft, devotion, and myth. The grounds of the Grand Palace gave way to blinding gold spires, prong or JDs as the Thai call them. The walls were lined with mirrored mosaics, sunlight dancing off the ornate tiles. As we stepped into the complex, the temple seemed to rise up from the earth until they towered over us in their magnificence. Each temple was a testament to the devotion and skill that went into their creation. Standing at the base, you can't help but feel small, almost insignificant beneath their presence. Every inch of this place, from the towers to the flowers, told a story of what humanity can do. And while the Thai wouldn't allow me to capture every detail, the feeling inside of these sacred places causes the outside world to fade away. The air grows cooler, the atmosphere is washed with a sense of calm. The intricate details of the walls seem to come alive, their colors and patterns telling stories passed down through generations. It's a place where time stands still, where art, architecture, and spirituality converge into something beyond words. Makes you feel hungry. Alexa and I ate at a Chinese fusion restaurant called Tana. Excited for a moment to recharge from the heat, we shared a pot of tea and then gorged ourselves on one of our favorite meals of the trip. I had a spicy cashew chicken, and Alexa had an earthy beef hot pot. After our brief reprieve, we returned to the magnificence, spending the afternoon getting massages at Wat Pho at the original Thai Massage School, Thailand's first public university, dating back to the reign of King Rama III in the early 1800s. After our visit with the reclining Buddha, we ventured on to Wat Arun, the Temple of Dawn, a beautiful prong set on the banks of the Chao Phraya River. Even without the footage, I know that our second day in Thailand will be a day that I remember for the rest of my life. Under the watchful eye of the Buddha, we spent the rest of the day admiring temples before retiring early so that we could catch an early flight in the morning. It was time to leave the capital of Thailand behind. Bangkok, an incredible time, mind you, was a constant sensory overload. And even though it was only a short flight north, the differences were stark. Landing in Chiang Mai was like stepping into an exhale. Cooler air, softer sounds, a city wrapped in smiles, fresh smells, and simplicity. The pace of our vacation dropped, and time stretched. Old Town was a city unlike any we've seen before. Compact, self-contained, sure, but it's also a city that is preserved by the very history that created it. Everything felt close, intertwined, and saturated with echoes of the past. The ancient walls and crumbling moat holding it all in, guarding the memories that define the city's soul. Sure, we spent the day similarly to the previous, with an exploration of the many temples that Thailand has to offer, but it just felt different. There were no lines, no aggressive tourists, just people enjoying the day in a place that is truly magical. And the weather, wow. While the modern-day Chiang Mai is a haven of tranquility, its roots run deep in history. Established as the capital of the Lana Kingdom in the 13th century, translated to the Kingdom of a Million Rice Fields, this city was once a powerful political and cultural center, its ancient walls still standing from this bygone era. The legacy of the Lana Kingdom echoes through the streets, temples, and even the language, which still holds traces of its past. Our favorite part of the city itself was how walkable it felt. You can walk from one end to the other in about 20 minutes. Despite this, there's always something to discover around each corner. A serene temple courtyard, a local artisan shop, a food stall slinging khao soi to the masses. It's the kind of city where you can wander aimlessly and still feel like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And wander we did. I think this is as good of a time as any to let you all know some unfortunate news. most of our audio from the trip was lost. It was a user error, pure incompetence with the equipment by yours truly. But believe me when I say that when Alexa rang this bell, it was one of the loudest sounds we've ever heard, and startled us both, as well as, the entire bird population in a half-mile radius. No regrets. We ate a quick khao soi for lunch and visited a few more temples. This next one was my favorite. Elephants hold deep symbolic and cultural significance in Thai history and identity. They're more than just majestic animals. They're sacred symbols of strength, wisdom, loyalty, and national pride. At the heart of each temple sits a Buddha, sometimes golden and gleaming, as shown here, other times worn and weathered. Surrounding the Buddha are offerings, garlands of fresh marigolds and jasmine, bowls of rice, candles, and the occasional soda pop. The pulse of Thai spirituality is humble, colorful, and quietly powerful. We were only trying to pass time until we could check into our hotel, but somehow we got lost in Chiang Mai. The entire day spent walking the streets and absorbing the culture. That being said, we were excited to freshen up and dust ourselves off from the throes of our newfound temple addiction. Lekka was excited to see the bath. As the day waned, it was time to hit the streets for trinkets and treasures. We stumbled upon a local market where for the first time since we got to Thailand, we saw real handcrafted art and goods. Even the monks were out exploring potential tokens and baubles. Day turned to night and we made our way to the famous weekend night market. It was mostly more of the same, but the people watching was fantastic. It was much busier in this area of the city, but that's okay. As I said before, tourists and locals alike seem much more relaxed and happy than in Bangkok. I'm proud to share that we bartered better and found some really fun gifts for our friends and families here. I am realizing now that it's April as I write this script and we still haven't delivered them. There was live music, delicious food, and a polite crowd of people soaking it all in. And tired as we were, Alexa and I had a really good time exploring the nightlife of Chiang Mai. With tired eyes and aching feet, Alexa did come up with a mischievous idea. If you've never ridden in a tuk-tuk, well, it's not for everyone. Alright, this is crazy. Tucked away in the mountains outside of Chiang Mai live the Karen people, the largest hill tribe group in Southeast Asia. On day 4 of our Thailand trip, we visited the Chai Lai Orchid Sanctuary, a Karen organization pledged to assist with modern conservation efforts, ethical elephant care, and the protection of young women from the sex trafficking industry that plagues the country. They have a rich cultural history and a unique connection to the land through subsistence farming, a sustainable method of growing rice, vegetables, and herbs, oftentimes through terraced fields. Many Karen are Mahout, elephant caretakers, and the tribe is well known for their long-standing relationship with elephants. During our time at Chai Lai, we had our very own guide, a wonderful human named Bibi. We spent much of the day on a nature walk with Bibi, swapping stories about our experiences, our ways of life. He was a professional, but charming, kind, and a bit of a showman, clearly excited to teach us about the culture of the Karen people, a man who loves his job. Sunlight filtered through the lush forestry, while birds, bugs, and all kinds of critters came together to create a beautiful melody, a chaotic tune that made the jungle come alive. Bibi trudged ahead, worn slides on his feet, while Alexa and I followed cautiously behind, listening to the jungle playlist, trying not to fall off one of the many sketchy bridges we crossed. We fed the local fish population little bits of mango. They were very competitive eaters, so we aimed for the fish who were having a harder time getting a bite. I'd like to think that each one of them ate that day. The hike led us to a series of waterfalls, each more beautiful than the last. You could always hear them before you saw them, as the dense undergrowth obstructed our view until the perfect moment for viewing. We would take breaks nearby, letting the mist hit our faces, cooling us from the midday heat. It wasn't a hardcore hike or anything, just enough to get the heart rate up. And though we'd been on our feet a lot over the past few days, the hike was energizing and uplifting. There were a ton of dogs on the trail, sometimes small puppies herding us forward, excited to help guide us along. Members of the Karen tribe themselves, they were earning their keep and were paid in scraps of food and belly rubs. After a couple hours of hiking, Bibi felt like we had earned our reward, lunch. Using a traditional Karen cooking technique, a zero-waste method called bamboo cooking, Bibi blew us away with his skill. He cut fresh bamboo stalks, hollowed them out, and used them as a cooking vessel. Fresh soup bubbled in the bamboo, made of pumpkin, lemongrass, vegetables, and more. Chicken skewers made from the same bamboo were charred to perfection right before our eyes. No plastics, no dishes to clean, everything was natural. Even the utensils were made from bamboo he whittled, which served as a great souvenir. Our placemats were made from banana leaf that he chopped down himself, and the fried rice he added to the feast was some of the best I've ever had. Alexa's still talking about the succulent chicken, prepared to perfection right before our eyes. Everything tasted great, and once again we were humbled by the skill and service of our wonderful guide, Bibi. Rejuvenated by Bibi's fantastic cooking, we marched on, eager to see what the Karen tribe had planned for us next. There were more questionable bridges, and you can imagine how hard it was to hold a camera and walk these uneven logs. Anything for the content, right? With potential scares came more beautiful views, fun stories, cultural expression. And did I mention beautiful views? Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about these beautiful views. We finished the hiking loop and were taken into the elephant sanctuary, where we took turns preparing medicine for the gentle giants. Shout out to Ryan and Luis, a couple from the UK who did the majority of the work. The medicine serves as a natural laxative, as elephants eat a ton, yet their digestion is not super efficient. A lot of what goes in comes right back out, 60% of it mostly intact. We took the medicine to the excited elephants who gathered to meet us, patiently waiting for their next meal. Look at those friendly faces. How could you not want to give them their favorite snack, sugarcane? What happened next? We'll let you see for yourself.
Bonbon.
Here come.
Okay, bonbon.
Oh, good game. Good play. I like you.
Oh, really? You want to play?
No.
Playing with them. Oh, okay. So pretty. You're just so good, Mama.
While the ethical dilemma of how best to handle domesticated elephants is something worth pursuing and debating, we were mostly happy with the way the sanctuary treated these creatures and are incredibly thankful to partake in this once-in-a-lifetime experience. Elephants aren't for riding, to be kept in small enclosures, or to participate in circus shows. They are deeply intelligent and emotional complex beings with gentle strength, lifelong memory, and deep familial bonds. Hello, family. We are doing the most incredible thing right now. We just made some medicine and fed some, was it sugar?
Some sugar cane?
Sugar cane.
To the elephants?
To the elephants. And here, let me just turn the camera around so you can see what our view is like right now. They have been so friendly with us, and it's been unreal. Though not sure where to draw the line myself, I am confident that the Karen tribe live a symbiotic life with the creatures, one where elephants can be free to roam, play, and be safe from poaching and intense labor, all while supporting the local communities who've cared for them for generations. With a final farewell, we crossed the last rickety bridge of the day, watching the elephants depart up the riverway. possibly unaware of the impact that they had on us. We were brought to our own private bungalow, accompanied by a beautiful view of the rice fields and the approaching sunset. It was time for some much-needed rest. It's hard to explain with words how impactful these first 4 days in Thailand were for us. We came here for a vacation from the calendar reminders, the social media updates, the constant move from pointless thing to pointless thing. Thailand doesn't demand anything of you. It just offers itself, gently, subtly. And if you let it in, even just a little, it reminds you of everything you forgot is important, everything you didn't know you were missing. In such a short amount of time, Thailand didn't just give us a vacation. It gave us back a piece of ourselves. And there was so much more to come.
Good morning, guys! We are on day 5 of our Thailand trip, and we woke up in the most beautiful bungalow with the best view. And here in a few minutes, we are going to feed some elephants their breakfast. And then afterwards, we'll get breakfast of our own and go bamboo rafting. Ooh. So we got a big day ahead of us, and we can't wait to share it with you.
Even before our breakfast of fresh fruit and buttery pastries, we already felt full, with moments, with memories, and we knew that if we didn't share it, we would burst. As Lucy lumbered towards us, excited for a breakfast of her own, we surprised our family with a video call, letting them be a part of our final elephant encounter. For most of our lives, experiences like this feel out of reach, something reserved for other people living other lives. But there we all were together, laughing, smiling, sharing in the excitement. They've never had a chance to do something like this themselves, and yet, sharing it in real time, across the world, it brought us closer than ever. In that moment, it wasn't just about where we were, it was about who we could bring along, even virtually. And being able to give even a glimpse of that wonder, it meant everything. I'm really, really happy you get to see it too. Saying goodbye never comes easy when a place wraps around your heart the way this one did. But we kept our heads high, knowing we were drifting towards a new Thailand adventure. Literally. Before we could even mentally prepare, it was all aboard a bamboo raft ready to carry us downriver to the heart of the Karen village. It was cold, but we got used to it pretty quick thanks to the little rapids our river guide steered us towards. Around each corner we could see people having adventures of their own. Elephants were everywhere, people were working fields, kids were going to school. And though there was plenty of people watching to be had, in that moment, it was just us, being us.
Oh,
Don't give me back, baby.
yeah, and when you least expect it.
When I least expect it.
Obviously, yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
We shall see. You're hearing it here first.
You just look so hot.
Don't put your hands on the thing. Under the thing. You know,
The thing.
the thing.
It was all fun and games on our bamboo ride down the river. But then, in a flash, everything changed. One moment, we were drifting, half lost in thought. The next, we were reminded that Thailand, for all its beauty, carries a wildness that demands respect. It was a jolt, a real pulsing reminder that here, nature isn't curated. It's alive, raw, and sometimes dangerous. But it's nothing a few elephant sightings and uplifting music can't cure, am I right? Sure, we were a little shaken up, but we still made the most of the ride. After all, it was a beautiful day with my best friend in the world. After a time, the water became refreshing, and once again we could relax into the experience. The clouds, the river, the trees, everything felt cinematic. We even gawked at an old ravaged bridge, a reminder of our own slightly worrisome crossings the day before. Thailand truly is a fluid country, and it is important to remember to remain vigilant, even if it is paradise. I loved this tree, by the way. Before we knew it, we were waving goodbye to our river guide and set on a path towards the center of the Karen village. There, Bibi surprised us and took us to visit a local who showed Alexa the basics of Karen weaving. Unfortunately, the teachings didn't really stick, as Alexa still hasn't made the shirt I asked her for months ago. We shared one last meal with our amazing guide Bibi, who by now was more of a friend than staff, and had to give a bittersweet goodbye to the Chai Lai Orchid Sanctuary. What came next, you may ask? Well, that part was still a surprise. By day 6, the miles were starting to catch up with us. It's kind of wild how much ground we'd already covered, and today, we were gearing up for the biggest day of travel yet. I won't lie, we were feeling it. A little burnt out and more than a little cranky. But we didn't take the 4-hour bus to Chiang Rai the night before for no reason. No, we had 2 final stops to make in northern Thailand, and they turned out to be some of the most visually stunning experiences of the whole trip. This is our footage of Blue Temple. Plucked from a dream and dropped in the middle of Chiang Rai, it's bold, electric, and unapologetically different from any other temple we'd seen thus far. Deep cobalt blue covered every surface, contrasted by a shining gold trim that seemed to glow even during the cloudy morning that we visited. The Blue Temple features a fearless mix of traditional Buddhist symbolism and bold modern creativity. Inside, a massive white Buddha sits serenely in the center, glowing against the blue walls like a calm presence in an electric blue storm. The murals around him are modern, vibrant, and full of movement, a sharp contrast from the traditional temple look, but still deeply spiritual. It was impossible to ignore the whispered themes the temple provided. Mostly the concept of death, not as an end of life, but as a continuation of the journey we all must take. The temple may look like it's from ancient myth, but its story is surprisingly modern, and that is part of what makes it so special. Construction was completed in 2016, built on the site of an older, ruined temple that had long been abandoned. But its story doesn't stop there. The Blue Temple was designed by a local artist by the name of Puda Kop Gao, student of Kalam Kai Koh Phi Phi, the mastermind behind our next stop. One of the most photographed temples in the entire world. Welcome to the White Temple. If the Blue Temple whispers the theme of sin, death, and rebirth, the White Temple shouts it from the top of its mirrored lace rooftops. From the moment you step on the grounds, you're confronted by the Bridge of Rebirth, a stark, skeletal structure with hands reaching out from the ground below, symbolizing the suffering and desire that traps us in this life. Death, in the White Temple, is a reckoning, a confrontation with everything we've done wrong. But beyond that, there's a clear message, provided by the blinding white sculptures, the sharp angles, the reflective tiles. Redemption through spiritual enlightenment is possible, and the White Temple is a metaphor for this ideal. As the deeper you explore, the more you see the interplay between the light and the dark, purity and sin, woven together into the very structure of the building. It invites you to reflect on your own journey, to acknowledge the constant push and pull between the parts of you that seek peace and the parts that are trapped in the chaos of desire and suffering. At least, that was my interpretation anyway. Scattered across the temple grounds were hidden treasures, moments of quiet discovery, tucked away and unassuming. A small Buddha statue revealed itself from the trees, almost as if it were waiting to be found. Nearby, an unassuming tunnel beckoned us forward, only to lead us into a depiction of hell itself. The entrance was low and dark, almost easy to miss, as if the descent into suffering always begins quietly. But even there, amidst the darkness, was light. And with it, Buddha appeared once more, reaching out with a gentle reminder that the path to spiritual enlightenment is never closed, even in your darkest hour. The rest of day 6 truly tested our resolve. First, we had a 4-hour drive back to Chiang Mai over twisting mountain roads, with a bathroom situation that left a lot to be desired. We rolled straight into a 2-hour flight to Phuket, just long enough to be uncomfortable, with not enough time to take a nap. Landing late at night, we thought our Grab taxi would be able to take us to our hotel pretty quick. However, only after another hour navigating city traffic did we finally make it to our destination. Neither of us said it out loud, but we were starting to worry. The pace of this trip was a bit too much, and deep down, we both knew things were only going to speed up from there. Excited to share footage of what was advertised as a luxury breakfast, though it was neither luxurious nor particularly food, we found ourselves at the halfway point of our trip. Eager to leave both land and that questionable meal behind, we boarded a speedboat bound for the world-famous island of Koh Phi Phi. It cost more than the traditional ferry, but at this stage in our travels, convenience won out. We happily paid the premium just to get there faster, and get there faster we did. Within an hour, Koh Phi Phi revealed itself with its limestone cliffs rising dramatically from the water, crowned with lush green jungle. Even looking at the footage now, it doesn't feel real. It was a landscape straight out of the movies, a land far, far away. But there it was, right in front of us. We arrived somewhere beyond our wildest imagination. It was a postcard come to life. Deep sapphire water gave way to glowing jade, then softened into a glassy turquoise as we neared the shore. It was so clear that you could see coral gardens below you and the illuminated scales of fish darting around below. We sipped on a couple of fresh fruit smoothies, simple, cold, and exactly what we needed. Our lunch spot wasn't open yet, so we passed the time people watching, letting ourselves adjust to the heavier heat and the buzz of the crowds. Gone were the quiet greetings and the gentle pace of the north. Down here, everything moved quicker. The conversations were louder, the streets busier, and the energy unmistakably different. The town was a maze, tight, crowded, and almost impossible to navigate with any kind of direction. Pathways twisted unpredictably, vendors called out from every angle, and the sheer number of people made it feel like you were being swept along rather than walking with intent. It was easy to lose your sense of orientation, not just physically, but mentally too. The atmosphere buzzed with noise, colors, scents, movement. Tourists from every country imaginable were one street corner away. Everything became a hot pot of culture, language, and expression. It was both overwhelming and exhilarating. After lunch, we had to partake in an unplanned obstacle course. Hauling our luggage through the water to reach a long-tail boat that could take us to our hotel was not on my bingo card. But what the hell? Welcome to Thailand. Once we made it aboard, we laughed about it and settled in to enjoy the cool sea breeze and the view of the coastline, which of course was magical. There was a moment of panic as we saw a black column of smoke rise from the greenery of the tree line. Reminded of our history of living in Colorado, a dry climate that deals with its forest being burned down almost every single year, we prepared ourselves for a disaster and got ready to jump off the boat to try to help contain the fire. 3 minutes later, we were on a scooter headed to the hotel, feeling silly because we were in fact not in Colorado, and the locals handled the situation with ease. We even saw a mangrove forest, a biome that neither of us has ever seen. Gathered supplies, changed, and headed down to the local town for snacks and other wares. Then, we set ourselves up at the beach and had a well-deserved nap. After my nap, I was struck by inspiration and set off towards a hidden bay to record the sunset. Alexa, always being the smarter of us two, stayed behind and continued lounging on the beach. It was a difficult hike, partially because I was trying and clearly failing to create a cinematic viewing experience for you all, and also because I hiked in my sandals, always overconfident and underprepared. I had to hoist myself over rocks and ravines with worn-out ropes that had been tied to trees countless years before. Look how much fun I'm having. I did eventually reach the hidden beach and was rewarded with an immaculate view. Everyone was there for the same reason as I, which meant I had found the right place indeed. I went for a quick swim to cool off before settling in to enjoy the sunset. The view was well worth the hike. Had some nice conversations with other tourists around the fire before saying goodbye as they boarded their longboat home. That's when I realized I hadn't thought about my own return trip. The trail had already put my legs, lungs, and decision-making skills through a full-blown performance review, but now it was pitch black. The sun had clocked out, clearly so did my common sense. But I made it, scratched, bleeding, eaten alive by bugs, and very aware that future me should plan with round trips in mind.
we come out clean. Things left in the dark are not what they seem. Hush, now the dawn may be listening. Pull you into the water till we come out clean. No, we cannot speak about some things hidden underneath the roots run deep.
What'd you say?
Do you want to see my impression of a mermaid?
Yeah.
I gave to you. Now I know I have to pull you into the water till we come out clean. Things left in the dark are not what they seem. Hush, now the dawn is listening. Pull you into the water till we come out clean. You go as a dream, as a dream, as a dream. Things aren't what they seem, what they seem, what they seem. No, we cannot speak about some things. So we're coming clean, coming clean, coming clean into the water till we come out clean. Things left in the dark are not what they seem. Hush, now the dawn is listening. Pull you into the water till we come out clean.
Okay, yes, that last part was a little dramatic. But let's see you make a 10-minute script for a bunch of snorkeling footage. I'm gonna be honest here. Day 9 was a total nothing fest. It was our largest travel day of the trip, and we were both sun-worn and tired from the day before. Day 9 consisted of a ferry back to the mainland province of Krabi, a brutal 6-hour bus ride up to Surat Thani, and a transfer to another ferry leading to the island of Koh Phangan. There were some good views, but most of the footage we got was truly just filler. Let's skip ahead to day 10. Day 10 was one of those perfect unplanned days. We rented a scooter and just went. No itinerary, no pressure, just the road, the breeze, and the occasional, oh wait, we need to be on the left side of the road now. It's a little weird at first, riding on the opposite side of the road from what we're used to in the US, but you get the hang of it. Sort of. Koh Phangan is all winding roads, twisting hills, and sudden sea views. Jungle on one side, ocean on the other. We passed quiet beaches, roadside food stands, dogs just casually napping on the street. And we stopped wherever we felt like. Grabbed some food, did some laundry, took in the views. Nothing major happened. That was kind of the best part. Once again, we made our way back to the beach for a nap and to catch another Thailand sunset. There's something about sunsets that just kept pulling us in. No matter how many we'd seen, we always found ourselves chasing the next one. It's not really about the view. It's about what it feels like to stop and just take it in. A small ritual in a place that constantly moves. We didn't talk much, just sat in the sand and watched the sky change, and let the day end exactly how it wanted to. And though the sun may have gone down and left us behind, the day wasn't over for us. Because when the sky goes dark on Koh Phangan, the island lights up. We traded the quiet of the beach for music, lights, and sand under our feet, heading straight into the full moon party. Part cultural phenomenon, part beautiful chaos. Music spills out from every direction. Fire dancers, neon paint, buckets of cocktails, strangers who feel like friends for the night. It's messy, it's loud, it's completely overwhelming, and somehow, it's exactly what we needed. The next morning was, well, let's just say it was a different vibe. At the ferry pier, the scene was a post-party reality, a sea of hungover tourists all trying to pretend that they were okay, but were clearly not. For us, we were headed to Koh Tao, eager to spend Valentine's Day together at a fancy resort. Known for its world-class scuba diving, we already have plans to go back to the island in the future. Unfortunately, we were only there for one night, so we tried to make the most of it. We shared a delicious treat, milkshakes and mango smoothies. And then we spent the rest of the day resting, relaxing, and, well, you can fill in the blanks. As our time in Thailand was coming to a close, we started to feel that familiar pressure. Our energy was running low, and we were definitely burnt out from the intense itinerary we'd thrown together. The last few days were meant to be a time to relax, but we were running on fumes and the exhaustion had finally caught up with us. Even though we had made it to the beautiful island of Koh Samui, we couldn't bring ourselves to do much of anything. We dropped our bags at the hotel and walked down to the private beach, content with just relaxing and enjoying the weather. I left for a bit to go get a bamboo stick and poke tattoo, and Alexa, well, something far more painful had been brewing, and it finally came to a head that night. That's right. Alexa ended up in the hospital for the last 2 days of our trip with gastroenteritis. It was a really scary moment for us. However, I can't express enough how incredible the medical professionals are in Thailand. I didn't take much footage over those last couple of days, but Alexa's condition stabilized pretty quickly, and we were able to catch our original flight back home. Sure, it wasn't the picture-perfect ending we'd hoped for, but, that's kind of what travel is all about. Living the story, no matter how it unfolds. We came to Thailand for adventure, culture, and connection. And frankly, we found all of it. Travel, like life, is unpredictable. But even in that discomfort, we found resilience. And honestly, what more could we ask for? Thank you for watching.